Hello YouTube. Thank you for stopping by the channel today. We're going to do a short tutorial or a short look at how we use Mystcraft on the server. I know that I put a video up earlier today. It was added to my stream by accident. I was really unhappy with it and knew I was going to end up re-recording it, but it slipped into the stream anyway, and a couple of people got to view it. For that, I'm sorry. I'll try to be more careful about what ends up there in the near future. Today we're going to start with this touchscreen. As you can see, it has changed significantly and it is fully functional. So let's take a look at it to begin with. I chose the black, green, and gray color scheme. I think that it looks really good. I don't know that it's perfect, but I'm really happy with it. Each of these are buttons that link to different areas of the world or different Mystcraft ages, and even the Nether and the End are in here also. You can see right there that there is a computer that controls it all. It's an advanced computer. It's running a program that I wrote for the most part with some help from a guy on Reddit who kind of blazed around on this touchscreen stuff, and I'll include a link in the description below. This computer fits a standard bundled cable. In the bundled cable there are 16 colors. Each color is associated with an individual button up here, so there's a possible of 16 buttons. And then if you go back here to the behind, we can show you how it hooks, or I can show you how it hooks up to the rest of this. Interestingly enough, there are 16 slots in the turtle also. So everything worked out just perfectly. The way this works is when a button is pressed, it selects which slot corresponds to that button and kicks out the book. The book is picked up by a relay and inserted in there. Also, when the button is pressed, this redstone line is triggered. It hits this transposer. The transposer yanks the book that's in there out. It goes around this pneumatic tube and gets dropped back into the turtle into the first available slot, which will be the slot that was made available by the book that's currently in the portal. 15 seconds later, everything fires again, and it takes the book that was selected and throws it, or takes the default book and throws it back out, and the whole process starts again to reset the portal to a default state. We can see this in action. So let's go over here and we'll select the quarry age. So you see that the portal changed colors. If we go back here in a hurry, we can see that the book is coming down. We'll wait just a few seconds. You can see by this red that the Sam Axe book is in there just like it should be. And in a second or two, it's going to be put right back there, and then the quarry book will make it all the way back around and get deposited in the right slot. There it is. So, let's go take a look at the Mystcraft room on the server. I'll do that by hitting this, get the Mystcraft up, and boom, we're there. So, if we look around this just a little bit, I think that some of you may recognize it. This is Aaron's original base on the server when he started the FTB Ultimate series. Somehow, we have kind of commandeered this room to be Mystcraft. I think originally I wanted it centrally located, thinking that everybody would use it, but it just has proven out that I'm the only one that generates Mystcraft ages, so ideally, this should be moved into my base, and probably will be at some point. You can see the basic things that you need, with the exception of the link modifier, which is in Aaron's base. So there's a writing desk that I organize, or the books are organized according to the wiki. That's the way I did it. So the biomes are all in one book, the biome controllers in another, and so forth. This is the note binder, or the book binder, and then there's a crafting table here if we need it, with some books, some spare books, some spare ages, and other stuff. Age 42 right now is the age that we're using to quarry in, and we can step through the pages just by clicking. So the formula for the quarry world is currently flat, meadows biome, single biome, zero length, noon, normal sun, normal moon, normal stars, glowstone crystals, standard lighting, no weather, and clear modifiers. And that clear modifiers page is incredibly important. There's a bug in this version of Mystcraft, the one that's in the Ultimate Pack, and you absolutely need that clear modifiers to get stable worlds at the end. So today we're going to look at making a BH. Aaron and I have talked extensively about what this BH should look like. We want to make sure that we can breed just about every type of bee that you could possibly need in this age, and so that means that we've got to have a very standard set of biomes to work with. So let's start, and the way I always do this is I start with the terrain. I would normally choose flat. I've tried it though, and it doesn't work the way that I expect it to, so today we're going to choose standard terrain. The way you do this is you hover over the book here, you right click it, and it will create a copy of the page, and then you just take that and drag it down. I try to keep these in the order that I want them to end up in the book, just because it's easier to remember if I do it that way. So when I'm done with that, the next thing I do is biomes. For this one, we're going to want a forest biome. We're going to want a desert biome. We're going to want a river biome, which is right there. And we're going to want a swampland biome. So there's our biomes. Next, after that, you're going to want a biome controller, and these have to be in this order. At least the biomes and the biome controller need to be right next to it, because the biomes modify the biome controller. And we're going to use tiny biomes. So grab tiny biomes. Next thing I do is I work on the celestial bodies, and I start by the length. And so go to the lengths book, and in this one we're going to want all day, so we'll do 0 length. And then we'll set the time of day to be noon, and you do that with the phases page. So noon. Then you need to add all of your celestial bodies. So for celestial bodies, normal sun, normal moon, and then normal stars. At this point, I would typically put in features, things like glowstone crystals or villages or, lakes, caves, whatever. We don't necessarily, or we don't want them for this one. So then you do lighting. We're just going to use standard lighting. Weather. Oh, there's weather. So no weather. And if you do that, if you accidentally pick up the book with the left click, or pick up the page with the left click and it slides out of place, you can reorganizing it by just left or middle clicking inside of this, and it'll put them all back to place. Of course, it messes with everything down here also, so no weather, and then that clear modifiers page. And so I have mine in other, and there's clear modifiers. Now, you take all of these pages and you put them on the notebook, on the binder, and because I did that left click, I'm going to have to search for everything. So, we're going to start with standard terrain, and then our biomes. Swampland, river, desert, and forest, and then 0 length. Noon. Oh, I forgot tiny biomes. So we'll just forest biome, tiny biome, 0 length, noon. Normal sun, normal moon, normal stars, standard lighting, no weather, and clear modifiers. Now we'll take this book, drop it down here, and let's go visit the age that we created. Boom. Now, as you can tell, this is probably not the age. This is definitely not the age that we created before. There's a house right there, and you can see I've already put a waypoint in here. I needed to recreate that so that I could show y'all how I built this age, but this is our BH. I know that if any of you watch Aaron's channel, which I'm assuming most of you do, you've seen a lot of this on their own. This is kind of my area where I'm doing some bee work, and then over here is a honey tank with a few of the machines, and then the melon farm, that is used to produce seed oil, which we are completely full of, which is really, really good. Except for the fact that we're popping seeds off, and I need to figure out how to handle that. I've also moved my matter fab into here, so because it's in all day, it's easier to do. I also get the benefit of having all of these solar panels here, so I can use them to pull off MJ through an energy bridge if I need it. So the way I do that is I have a high voltage a high voltage consumer on one side. I've got the energy bridge in the middle, and then a BC output. And so as these machines need more energy, they can pull them off and grab them from the solar panels. Now, I've seen some of the responses to B videos in the past, and I can tell that many of you are just not excited about it, and I definitely don't want to bore you by sitting around and watching me breed bees. But we will talk extensively about automation, because that's really where I'm going to be focusing a lot of my time over the next couple of days. Well, one interesting thing is that I was trying to create an automated cocoa farm here, and I could not get deployers or relays or transposers or anything to plant the cocoa beans. The block breakers don't have any problem breaking them once they're grown, but I just could not get them to plant properly. So we have this manual wall, and I thought it was going to be the end of me, because you need those chocolate frames extensively early on. And what I found out was that Valiant Bees make chocolate these cocoa combs, and you can get cocoa beans out of that. So all of that ended up being kind of a unneeded distraction. Especially since in my tours around the world I had already found plenty of Valiant Bees to start that work. If you go over here, we've got a tree farm that's located in here, which I believe is completely full of logs. Those will be processed through the carpenter to make us impregnated sticks, which we use to create the frames. Now, I want to bounce back to the base and talk about a little more about what I plan on doing in the next couple of episodes. So, in the next episode, we're going to spend some time looking at the grinder. I've got a couple of changes I want to make to it, and that will involve Computercraft and a little bit of things like that. But in the meantime, when I'm not recording, which is actually a fair amount of time, I will be cleaning out an area to put the bees in the overworld for me. This will eventually be full of alvearies, and it'll be a full bee production facility, but it's going to start with just a processing facility for all of the stuff that we're getting out of there. We're going to item tesseract that to the overworld, and then in this area between the tree farm and the regular base, there's a nice kind of carved out area that I'm gonna glass over and build an entire base or bee kind of area underneath on this side. Now, so you can look forward to that. Hopefully you won't have to watch me put all the glass down or anything like that, but you can look forward to us doing some bee automation in the next couple of episodes, or a couple of episodes from now. Let me check on my time real quick. It looks like that this thing is going to end up being around 15 minutes, which is just about where I'd like, and I don't know that I have anything to add another couple more minutes. Actually, I do have one thing. On the touchscreen, man, Aaron has just been chomping at the bits to prank me in some way, shape, or form, and I came in one day and the server had rebooted, and on my touchscreen it said, "How much UU do I have?" which is kind of an ongoing joke between the two of us. Aaron is 2 hours ahead of me in time, and so lots of times I'll be at work and I'll see him jump up on Skype, and I'll know that he's on the server, and so I'll just ping him real quickly and say, "How much UU do I have?" And it's just been, he does it regularly to me also, and so I thought it was really funny, and I went to put that back up on the screen today with his program, and for some reason it wasn't writing to the screen, and I wasn't going to spend a whole lot of time trying to troubleshoot his poor coding. So with that, I'm going to sign off. I want to thank y'all again for tuning in, and have a great day.